I have tried to keep the terms in this lecture fairly basic. However, being a programmer for such a long time, I have fallen into certain phrases that I use, certain jargon. And I'm going to tell you some things that you probably already know, but just to make sure. For example, this is what a phasor project looks like when we first start working with it. Simply a blank canvas. And this canvas is 480 by 640. And when I say that, I mean it is 480 pixels wide by 640 pixels high. The canvas is broken down into a grid. The grid, usually referred to as X and Y coordinates, with X being the columns and Y being the rows. Each pixel then has an X and a Y coordinate. X equals 0 and Y equals 0 in the top corner here, for example. But sometimes we make it shorter by simply saying 0, 0. So if I say I'm just going to place that at 0, 0, and that's something I do a lot if we're just going to put it there temporarily until we can place it another way in the code. If I say place it at 0, 0, it means the top left-hand corner. I talk a lot in this course about scope. If you've worked with JavaScript before, then you know that if you declare a local variable, for example, my name equals William, that variable is not accessible outside of that function. In Phasor, sometimes we have to call a function within a line of code. For example, this is how we would call a timer. Now, when we call it this way, we can't get to the information. All those variables, this sum object and this really important information, are not accessible to the function. Usually Phasor gives us a way, though, to pass the scope by putting this as a keyword. Then this will mean the same thing in the tick function as it does everywhere else. So when I say don't forget to pass the scope, I usually mean don't forget to put the this keyword in the line of code that we're working with. I hope this clears it up. If you still have questions, you can talk about it in the course discussion, or feel free to private message me if you have any questions.